So yesterday, I wrapped up the main story, quote-unquote, stuff with Super Mario Party Jamboree after a little bit of delay. And why is my camera, like, already broken? I just started. It's already pointing down at my crotch. Do you like my, blanket that I'm all snuggly in here because it's cold and stuff? Camera, can you, like, not? Reset. Reset. Normal tracking. Okay, well, I don't have to unplug it and plug it back in. It didn't have a red light this time. It just really wanted to show my crotch, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but I hope things are going well today, Fusion and GMK. Hello, Harmonia. You can finally tune in stream for a bit. How's it going? Busy with full-time work over here, but doing all right. My card collection hobby being stabbed due to the fact scalpers are getting worse. I've heard about that. I've seen it going around on social media a decent bit that, like, there's some really, really bad scalping stuff that's going on, at least with Pokemon. I don't know if, like, other TCG stuff is like that right now. I would presume that there would be if it's, like, a general market kind of trend, but, can't get Pokemon cards for less than $100 anymore. Oh, these ones that I've been holding on to since Extra Life to open with Guzma when he's here at, like, Janland and stuff. I better hoard them and, like, treat them like gold and not, not do anything with them, huh? Is what I better do here. Let's treat that like cardboard gold and not touch that. Is my capture card delaying things? No, it's just how laggy the ship is now. It's like throwing me off. Yeah, that frame rate is not great, and I really hope it's not like this for the rest of the game. It is currently the 10th of January. When we left off, it was Reclusa, I think was the name. Impressed that I remembered the name. That either wanted loneliness for everyone and these little pocket dimension like simulations that where they're not lonely, loneliness for just himself, herself, itself, whatever the hell it is. It's like a robot-like thing that came out of an egg. I don't know what the heck it is. Or destroying the world. I don't know which of it is. And I don't remember what. Oh, we were going collecting everyone's bonds. Why is this a mystery now? It's Technique engine. Why is the, like, fortress, oh, because it's not the fortress anymore. It's the thing. I did not want to UFO. Wait, it just says collect everyone's bonds. Wait, but where did I go for that? I forget where the game told me to go last time. It's been a little bit of a hot second. There's no objective marker here. Oh, but I was gonna do this one timed quest first, like, just because it seemed like story connected. I remember that now. Yeah, even though this is kind of the throwaway save file now, I was gonna do that because it had to do with like story stuff. But as for things here, I've just been big chillin'. Over the past couple days, I've been working on putting together some jelly of choke cherries, is what the plan was. Because on Monday is when that Guzma Mad Lad, so just a couple days away, gets here and is gonna be staying for a couple weeks, ending in like Janland, where we'll probably be playing a bunch of game stuff together. And last time he was here, I harvested a whole bunch of choke cherries out at our lake cabin because he was, like, he's quite the talented chef. So while he was making a bunch of delicious stuff, I was like, oh, maybe I could make some delicious stuff on the side. I meant to make choke cherry jelly and I didn't get the chance to. So those exact same choke cherries from a year and a half ago, the last time he was here, were still in the freezer. So I tried to make them into jelly. And I wasn't sure how many choke cherries there were, so I combined, like, all the loose berries that were in the, well, not loose, but you know what I mean. In the freezer. So I ended up making a choke cherry, raspberry, blackberry, Haskap jelly. I don't know how well it gelled. It might be more like a syrup. I'll have to find out tomorrow, like after I open up a jar and see how it turned out and what the consistency is like. It seemed like it was gelling pretty alright when I was throwing it together and like testing it and stuff, but we'll see. It might end up being like a syrup, but on tasting it, like, it is delicious. But it might be more syrupy instead of jelly, and then I can give him a couple jars to take home. So that's what I've been working on the past couple days here. Reclusa, actually a clever name for what its goal is if it's meant to be like reclusive. Yeah, it's wanting to spread like loneliness and stuff or whatever the heck. Mario, Luigi, Cozette is gone! That's been my project here lately. Here's a letter. Dear Connie, please forgive me for leaving without saying goodbye. I feel that I must go and do what I can on my own for the world. I need to restore dear Concordia to the way it was before. Isolated, but without Reclusa here. No. I want to see the Unitree and great lighthouses bringing everyone together again. No one really seemed to care about that, though. Miss Cozette felt responsible, I'm sure. I think she's planning to fix this herself. Okay, but where did she go? I think a Great Lighthouse. To do what? I don't know. But Miss Cozette did once say, the Gulchrock Sea Great Lighthouse is where this nightmare started. I guess that place has some special meaning for her. You're going to look for her? Thank you. But you have to use the bonds you've gathered against Reclusa. Yeah, I will. Miss Cozette put her faith in us. She entrusted you with a bonding can. We need to do what we can. I'm just now realizing with like the whole theming of this with like growing the Great Lighthouse that's gonna do all these connections and stuff. I could have brought over like one of my fruit saplings and set it up here. Have a kind of scenic backdrop while also inspiring it to grow like nice and big and strong. Like one of my apple trees is what I could have brought here. No, Miss Cozette is the greatest botanist I've ever known. If I'm being honest with myself, I really want to see her again. Side quest, Cozette's decision. Who knows what the clear rewards are? Yeah. I already sent half of these side quests to the Shadow Realm. So like, here, let's go this way. But yeah, with Guzma arriving here in a couple days to experience some Canadian winter here, though it's actually been like pretty warm lately, so we'll see if he gets to experience like the real cold. I figure like we're gonna be traveling around a decent bit. Use Technique Engine. Okay, so I just jump immediately like that. We're probably gonna be traveling around a little bit, spend some time out at the family's lake cabin. Maybe we'll drive out to near the mountains or something like that and hike around or something or other, go do some skiing. Do some different things. I'm probably not going to be streaming for like the next couple weeks here. Alright, out of family things. So can't be too chatty here. How was this gaming? I avoid spoilers so far as I can help myself. It's been so long. You're basically done with the game. Yeah, and I'm someone that goes pretty slow through this stuff. Like, it's been out for a few months now. I don't like it. There are some things that are good about it. Like, the boss battles, I think, are some of, if not the best in the series. I do think that, like, the boss battles are really good and fun and cool. And even a lot of the random encounter battles, when the enemies do things that use like multiple enemies and like a paired attack against you, that's really cool. I don't think that a Mario and Luigi game has done that before. So there are like really good parts of this game. But like the general world exploration just sucks. The overall like narrative is just padding simulator where nothing happens for so dang long. And I just find myself getting kind of bored with it. So I don't like it. I think it's my least favorite game in the series, but it does have some things that are good about it. Oh no, mandatory battle. Aha! The red and green mustaches have returned! What do you want this time? We won't let you interfere. What, and they're working together even though they're gloomed and they should want to be alone, but what do I know? Also the story doesn't really make sense. My goodness. Now I'm gonna be stuck. What? There goes half my health. Oh, I thought I was gonna be stuck there for a little while before it let me act. But yeah, I see you heard this game was peak and then nothing after like 2 months like every Mario game. There's basically like 2 camps. There's a camp that's saying this game is peak and a camp that's saying this game is mid. I'm in the camp that says this game is mid. Is like, yeah, I think it might be worth getting on sale. But I mean, even then, just considering the time investment into it, with how good the boss battles are, and like believe me, the boss battles are really good in this game. Just time-wise, is the gameplay leading up to the bosses all that fun and worth it and justify the bosses? I think the answer to that is no. Like, I don't think that like the gameplay leading up to the bosses is engaging enough that like it can stand on its own 2 feet. I just get like so dang bored and crossing my fingers by the end of any island, like please be a boss battle, please be the boss battle. It's like the one thing that I actually like. And then, like, continuing to not get boss battles. I was, like, 4.5 hours into this game before it hit me with the first boss. And the first boss wasn't even connected to the story. The game just tells you, oh, backtrack back to the first island that you were at. Because there's some guy that's not connected to the villains in any way that's now stirring up some trouble. And that's the first boss battle. And it's like, what? What's the point? Like, at least, even the bosses that had nothing to do with the story previously in Mario and Luigi games, at least were a direct obstacle in your path to story progression, as opposed to just like, oh, there's some guy that just showed up on the first island that you were at. Like, can you come deal with him now? Like, why not just have him be there the first time and he's a roadblock to when you're actually trying to get to the end of that island, and it makes no sense. So I just think that like the overall game is just like so boring. So even though the bosses are really fun, the fact that this game is so long, like I'm at what, 43 hours in this game or something like that, it is by far the longest Mario and Luigi game, probably one of the longest Mario RPGs, and it just really overstays its welcome. And while the random encounter battles are usually pretty fun, the enemy variety is pretty low. Like, among the main antagonistic force, you can see these two enemy types here. The blue ones, I think they're normally kind of green if they're not gloamed, but the blue ones here and the red ones, out of the enemy forces, there's like 4 enemy types. So this is half of the variety right here. There's a flying one and there's a ring one. And that's basically it in terms of like the main big bads, plus like, you know, the random encounter battles of like different islands that'll be themed around different things. But when we're talking about like the main enemy forces that you're gonna be seeing over and over and over and over again throughout the game, yeah, this is it. And like 4 different kinds. And rather than adding like new enemy types as the game goes on, it just gloams them, it's called, where they get like this red effect on them that makes it so that their attacks are faster now. And if they hit you, sometimes they'll gloam you, which is now a status condition to deal with. So it's not really anything drastically different than you're used to dealing with. It's just recycling what you've already dealt with and like, hey, it's a little harder now because now they move faster, and if you get hit, you might have to deal with the status condition, rather than giving you like genuine variety. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan there. Oh, the counter. Oh my god. They do start getting really fast then though. Wow. And I was on the ground, so like I couldn't really do much about that. Also, there's no downside to a bro going down in this game, so I can just jump like normal speed. Is the thing here. But yeah, well, here's another one. Another one. Bonk. But yeah, just making sure it's worth full price. Yeah, I guess I already read that. So much lack of bosses that affects the best part of the game. Yeah, I feel like if there was a boss at the end of each major island, even if it was just a bigger version of regular enemies that we find that are a little bit tougher and have like a slight different variety to their attacks than we're used to dealing with. Like we had one of those, we had the Mega Synaptor. I would have been glad to have something like that at the end of each island, even if it's just a bigger version of what we've already dealt with, just so that it's like a more challenging battle to look forward to, you know? But we didn't really get that. That sucks. Don't think your limited time would tolerate such a game. I guess not then, unless it's under $30. Just been playing... Uh-oh. Bonk. Just been playing Poker Rogue, Balatro. Whoa. And with your new OG Nintendo... Oh my god. I'll read that in a second here. Enemy attacks last a while in this game, as you can see. Oh, well, it didn't damage... Oh, that did damage your shield. They have, like, a double shield here. But yeah, with your OG Nintendo Switch for Christmas, been playing Legends Arceus again. Nice, in which you're rather pissed Nintendo pulls the, oh, sorry, can't salvage save files because don't allow it? Wait, salvage save files? Are you talking about, like, their cloud service, or what do you mean here? And hello, Hikari. I'm doing pretty alrighty. Just spent the day making some choke cherry, Haskap, raspberry, blackberry jelly that might be more like a syrup because I don't know how gelled it got, but it's pretty delicious anyway, so that's the part that counts. Maybe it's a delicious syrup, and that's a-okay. I'll find out tomorrow after leaving it overnight here. What I'll see here. Let's do Bomb Derby. To add more onto the story of the game, the villains aren't really fun to watch, more painfully boring. Yeah, they don't really do a whole lot. And when they do, it's like, it makes you ask, what do they even really do? There's one genuinely evil thing that they do successfully, like, during one of the later islands, which was actually really good. But that doesn't really justify all their other crap. Yeah, the one sabotaged attempt that did nothing. To talk about it without spoilers, there was a big event that Mario and Luigi had to help with, and the other heroes told them where to go and get particular items. But then one of the villains comes up disguised and is like, you could go to this place and get those items instead. And so you can choose to do what the other heroes told you to do, or you can do what the villains told you to do. I did what the villains told me to do, thinking that I would get like some sort of trapped item that would completely ruin the event. No, it turns out the place that I go to for that, they try to like ruin the item in question, even though if that item was ruined, I could just go to the place that the heroes told me to go. Like there's still another perfectly good instance elsewhere in the world. And the place that they tell me to go where they trash the item, there's still enough stuff there to successfully make an item anyway, and then when the event happens, they do nothing. So, like, it just delayed us a little bit, I guess. So I really still don't really understand what the point of that was, but, That was a thing that happened. That was a thing that occurred there. Yeah, good old Wag sabotage attempt right there. Yeah, cloud service only like 13 out of 35 games you have cloud backup. I need internet to play your digital games, which ruins the point of bringing the Switch to travel. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I just never trust, like, digital media. Unless I'm playing PC, because, like, it's... Who plays on discs anymore on PC? I don't even have a disc drive on this PC. The PC I'm resting my legs on right now has a disc drive, but the one I'm actually streaming with does not. I don't actually know what my level is here. I can check in a second. I'm pretty sure I'm under leveled. I think I'm high 30s. Supposed to be a major threats, but then this stuff they do affect literally nothing in this story. It's hard to really care about any of them. Yep, I agree. That out of the way, let's find Cozette. Anyway, the brief thing that I was trying to say about, like, stuff going on here when it comes to, hold on, Mario and Luigi, I guess. Level 36. Wow, I'm really under leveled then. Holy crap. Maybe I should go stock up on, like, some regular mushrooms out here. Is what I should go do, because there is a shopkeeper. Because Guzma is arriving on the 13th here, and heading back home on the 27th, so, like, the day after Janlan, I'm probably not going to be streaming for the next couple weeks, so I'm trying to finish stuff off here while I can. Sure, give me a whole bunch of those. That sounds good to me. So, I hadn't really played Super Mario Party Jamboree for a little while because I figured, oh, I'll just do it the next time that I play with friendos. But now I know that that's probably not going to be until, like, the end of February. I mean, maybe Guzma and I will do a little bit at Janlan, but I'm not going to start doing, like, the single-player main story from there. I'm going to keep on doing multiplayer stuff with him, is the plan. So, I figured, you know what, screw it, let's just go ahead and finish it. So I finished that off after not having played it for a little while. And tonight, on Friday here, I figure I'll finish this game off. I was planning on finishing this the last time that I streamed, but after I realized this last main quest going on is going to be a lot longer than I initially thought it would be, I was like, yeah, I gotta call this a night and just, like, do it another time, is what I gotta do. So here I am, finishing this on this another night. Speaking of PC, did I tell you got a gaming laptop that has good specs so you can run games quite well and having a blast playing it? That's awesome. I'm always kind of sketched out about gaming laptops. Like, I don't really like mine. So, Costco exclusive MSI gaming laptop is the computer got, and boy, it's really good for the price. Shame I believe it's sold out and discontinued last I checked. Could be thinking of a different computer though. Oh, well maybe you snagged like one of the few good gaming laptops out there before anyone else could get it. But yeah. Yeah, what, with the, thingamabob with timed quests do you mean here? But yeah, that's good then, because like actual solid gaming laptops I feel like are hard to come by. Like, oh my god, mine. Mario, Luigi, why are you here? Ah, Connie, of course. This is where it happened, where I became Zocket. Once I found that egg, Cozette was just gone. Reclusa has powers you can barely imagine. If his Reclusa world becomes a reality. Wait, is that what he's trying to make? It's called Reclusa world? That's the most Mario thing I've ever seen. Well, we can act. Or we can watch the world end. What is this? Like the branching part of Persona 3? I did this. As Zocket, I made it all happen. I need to atone for that. I'm going to face Reclusa. And you cannot come with me. What? I don't know if Reclusa still has some control over me. But if my presence can make a difference, if I can weaken Reclusa, it will be worth it. Yeah, then have me come with you and then I finish Reclusa off after you weaken him, her, it, whatever. But before that, I wanted to see the great lighthouse I tended to so carefully. Looking at it, maybe I didn't do such a good job though. Another failing, I guess. Take care of the Unitree for me, and make sure the great lighthouse light every part. Oh, lighthouses light every part of this world. You'll have to be the botanist in my place. Not Connie. When that was my role, I messed it up pretty badly. I broke the world. I've left a stain on the land that will never be erased. But there was one thing in all this that brought me joy. Concordia was separated, but even then, the islands wanted to be together again. Are you sure about that? I don't think I ever saw a single person on any of these islands that wanted to be together again. Even ones that were like clearly separated from like their own people. Like the Heat Freeze Island. where there was like the one that was the combination of hot and cold, and then there was one of pure hot and one of pure cold, and the ones of like pure hot and cold would reference like their villages in like the mixed hot and cold one, and nobody cared. No one was like, man, it sure is sucky that we were separated from the rest of our people. I really miss like this family member or this friend of mine. If only we could be together again. Not a single person ever expressed that. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about here. Through the work of Connie and the island residents. And also that tree. It probably guided everyone to link the islands. Did it? Because the only people that seem to care are Mario, Luigi, Snoutlet, Connie, Ark, Cozette, Peach, Starlo, and the Idol Kids. And I guess probably Techniki. And I think those are the only characters in the entire story amidst the bazillion NPCs that we found across all the islands in this game. I think those are the only characters that actually care about that. So I don't know what you mean guided everyone to link the islands, when probably 99% of people genuinely don't care. Like, this world could have used so much more world building and world building in the sense that it sets like the tone and atmosphere by showing that people are longing for connections and bonds. Like, it would have had this part of the plot hit a lot stronger if it was actually showing rather than telling. The story is just directly telling us, like, the world wants to be together again, it's so great to be together, but it's showing us that no one cares. It's showing us the opposite, and that everyone is getting by just fine, like, isolated. So, the world that they crafted here kind of runs parallel to the story that they're trying to make meaningful. And I find that, like, it really hurts the story because of that. Like, I'm very much of the opinion that you can have an impactful story while having it be simple. Like, you can have, like, a children/family-friendly story that, like, can hit really hard and have, like, deeper meaning when it has, like, proper world building, like proper character development that relates to the story. Like, when I think of a good example like that, I think of Sly 3, for example, that had a basic story that, like, kids can understand and get behind, but, like, some deeper symbolism and meaning that adults can enjoy and come back to it all these years later after growing up and being like, whoa, that actually gets pretty deep, like I did when it came to that game. Like, you can have a very simple plot that hits kinda hard. Like, another good example of that might be, like, Pokemon Black and White. Like, there's a lot of problems with that story that make you ask, like, huh? Really? But in terms of, like, a mainline Pokemon story, it actually is, it does toy around with, like, some really interesting ideas, and it has some interesting character development with N, and I'm slowly accepting that maybe this path that he was brought along wasn't right after all. And the deeper themes that it explore, like, last with me till this day, despite it being a kid's game. Like, you can absolutely have a simple plot, have deeper, impactful meaning. And it felt very much like this story wanted to. And, like, they probably did, like, a really thorough job writing said story. But it feels like those that wrote the story and those that wrote, like, the setting and the world and what's going on and stuff like that felt like they were two completely different teams that didn't communicate properly with each other, and just resulted in this experience where the story says one thing and the actual gameplay experience and everyone that you go around and meet says another thing. It's like, what? So that's kind of what I feel about this. Anyway, I'll catch up on this in a hot second. All thanks to the power of bonds. And those bonds are reaching out, even beyond this world. Are you sure? And trying to create new connections. I won't let those new connections be broken. I'm going to put an end to all this. Please don't say anything to Connie about this. I don't want to make her worry unnecessarily. Side quest, Cozette's decision. Okay, so yeah. Was indeed tied to the story, so it was a good thing to do there. But yeah. It's so funny seeing them act like connections are important, but it's rarely ever the front of the story. Yeah, it's really not. Like, the most connection-based thing was the wedding that was from these two characters that didn't have enough of a role in the story to be cared about. They just kind of showed up during the plot of like, who is responsible for this bad thing, and got framed for it to introduce them, being all lovey-dovey, like, annoyingly so, with one another. And then it's like, oh, whoops. And then all of a sudden, shortly after that, it's like, alright, Mario and Luigi, you're the ones responsible for planning out our wedding now. Getting everything together. And it's like, what? Really? Like, what's the stakes here? They could literally use Ship-Shape Island to reach each other if they can't reconnect the islands. They can only use Ship-Shape Island to reach each other, like with the pipe, if the islands have been plugged into Ship-Shape Island. But you would also presume that there are other, like, ships that they could use to sail and reach one another, something or other. But, you know, even if Ship-Shape Island is the only way to connect things, you'd think that you would see more characters actually care about that, because they really don't. Oh, I can't use the thing. Wait, how do I go back if I can't use the golden pipe? Oh, there's a cannon right here. But yeah, let's see here. But yeah, kids games have decently high stakes stories in past years. This game is no excuse for its lackluster story. Yeah, I can agree there. And Pokemon Black and White 2 went a bit of a darker route than the first games. I mean, I guess in terms of the stakes, I definitely prefer the story of the first games over the sequels, because the main villain in original Black and White wasn't truly evil, just misguided by, like, the actual puppet master that was behind everything. But in Black and White 2, now that evil puppet master is, like, the forefront villain, and is just straight up evil, is the case. So we went from, like, an actual really deep character that we're working against to just generic evil, like a lot of Pokemon villains. So I definitely much preferred the dynamic with N and stuff. Yes, Gen 5 games were the best story-wise and gameplay, while dialogue heavy and really slow at times is still very solid. Yeah, I can agree there. Unlike Scarlet and Violet, where while the story and gameplay is different and interesting, it falls short by building off this game being so bad it makes Red and Blue look like stable games. Yeah, you would think after Red and Blue that they wouldn't put out a Pokemon game more broken after that, and then, yeah. I like how when Cozette was asking the bros not to tell Connie about what they planned to do, Luigi actually looked mad. Oh, I didn't notice that. Honestly, your review on help me realize how much we couldn't get because they couldn't cook with these games. Maybe that'll be different with Legends ZA, hopefully, if they really are taking some more time to keep it in the oven. If it really has been delayed here, cook it a little bit longer, or maybe it'll be a Switch and Switch 2 game, but only really work well on the Switch 2, knowing their previous track record. I don't know. We'll see here. So, yeah, anyway, that's what's going on here. I don't know where I'm supposed to go now. It just says collect everyone's bonds. And I don't know where that's supposed to be. Hello, Logirkoviak. Things are going pretty alrighty. Just kind of preparing stuff around here for that Guzman nerd to get here in a few days. So, been wrapping up a few projects around here. Been sorting out, like, the guest bedroom for a place for him to stay and kind of trying to get some ideas of what stuff we should go out and do that's winter-like while he's here to experience winter and all that. So, probably not going to be streaming for a couple weeks as of Monday, but be out and about doing some fun winter stuff. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. It just says collect everyone's bonds, and it doesn't give me, like, a quest marker. So I don't know where I'm supposed to go, and I don't remember from last stream. Like, it would be nice if there was a hint button or something like that, or just told me where to go, rather than just hoping that the player is either playing one long session, and they'll just, like, keep on going one thing after another, or they'll remember after the last time they played. And I don't remember from the last time I played. I have to find James. We're talking about Pokemon. Are we gonna have to find Jesse and James? But yeah, I hope so, but honestly, with how the Switch 2 is just the Switch, but 2, doubt it's gotta be nothing short of Gen 6 again, but Legends Arceus gameplay. I mean, we'll see here what ends up happening. I kind of hope that the Switch 2 is just, like, the same general idea, but, like, it's a lot more powerful now. Because, I mean, this console was already a little outdated even when it first came out, like, in terms of the hardware that's in it. So having, if it is as powerful as the PS4, like a lot of people have been saying, as a handheld console, I'd like that. I would like that with, like, the classic Nintendo flair. You know, like, James, insert the target the game gives you? I don't think I understand, I'm sorry to say. I'm looking this up because I genuinely have no idea. Mario and Luigi, Brothership, collect everyone's bonds. I feel like I'm going to go hunt the pieces of the Triforce at the end of Wind Waker right now. Collect everyone's bonds full quest guide. It's a 6-minute video. Did I not have as much left to this game as I thought I did? Or does this, like, video just hop around to the different things, like, really fast? Or something. James Bonds? Oh. I've really just lost interest in Nintendo games recently. It feels like a huge drop in quality for some of them. Yeah, that's what I've been feeling. Like, I've said multiple times, and I said, like, during last night's stream where I was playing Mario Party Jamboree, that the only 2 games that came out last year that I genuinely liked were Super Mario Party Jamboree and Unicorn Overlord. This was my game of the year for last year. But, like, well, I like this, but this isn't a new game. This is a remaster, so this doesn't count. So, like, the only Nintendo game that came out that I genuinely liked was Super Mario Party Jamboree. And this, but I don't think that this counts. Like, I feel like this was a little bit of a letdown. When did I have Bomberman in? What other Nintendo games did I play this year? I did not like Princess Peach Showtime. I did not like Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I don't think that there was a massive ton of games on Nintendo consoles this year. And I think that there were more, like, good games that came out last year that I just didn't play. Like, I heard really great things about Black Myth Wukong, for example. But, you know, I didn't play that. I play a lot of Nintendo things around here. And there was only one game that I actually liked from Nintendo this last year. And I genuinely think that this is, like, probably my new favorite Mario Party game. I actually really, really like it. But, yeah, this game I'm really not a fan of. After the whole kerfuffle with Power World, I'm losing hope on it being anything good, but glad to hear you're optimistic about it. More like I like to play both sides of the argument. I don't think I would genuinely consider myself optimistic about it, per se. Play a little bit of devil's advocate sometimes and not just purely be a one side like, oh yeah, it's surely gonna be crap. But, you know. Alright, what does this video do? So, they go to Scorching Island. Alright, so this is the stuff with the couple. Is the case. So that's the place that I already went. So this is like half the video, it looks like. Alright, so yeah, they find them and then they just like cut immediately to the next one. So it is nice that it's just kind of to the point. Wow, their game is lagging even more than mine. That or they have a capture card that just like sucks or something. And then they go to Rumbla Island. So, I don't know, I'm just gonna go to Rumbla Island and hope for the best here. Let's just see here. Let's go this way.